Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. Since 2023 is almost here, that means it's time for me to make some 5-star predictions for the next year. I did this last year for 2022 and I still need to go over whether I was right about those or not, so that video is coming soon. But today is all about the 2023 predictions. Most of these are by my favorite authors, so I'm pretty sure that I'll end up loving them, but some of them are also by authors that I fell in love with this year, so I'm really hoping that I end up loving them again. So let's just jump into it. My first 5-star prediction of 2023 is actually a duet that is supposed to come out in January, so it's coming up really soon. It's the Star-Crossed Lovers duet by Ashley Jade. Book 1 is called The Choice and book 2 is called The Consequence. It's a spin-off of one of my favorite reads this year, which is The Words. It's such a good rock star romance, second chance romance. I love that book and it did a great job with setting up the couple for this duet. It's gonna be about Skylar and Memphis, and they are probably gonna be the messiest couple ever, and I can't freaking wait. I know it's gonna be such an emotional roller coaster. I know it's gonna be angsty. I'm probably gonna hate them and then love them and then hate them some more, but I am so looking forward to this duet. The Words took me by surprise by how much I loved it, because every other Ashley Jade book that I read up till then was not it for me, but The Words was amazing, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up loving the spin-off sequel. So in The Words, Memphis is one of the band members and he's been in love with his brother's girlfriend for forever. His brother is also another band member until he unfortunately passes away, but it's still too messy for Skylar and Memphis, and then by the end of the book, Memphis gets a girl pregnant. So I truly don't know how their book, their romance, is gonna turn out. There is so much for them to deal with before they can actually get together, and I'm pretty sure the author has mentioned how both books in this duet are ginormous. They're supposed to be even bigger than The Words, which is already what, 500-600 pages long, so it's gonna be quite the read, but I am crazy excited. It's been a long time since I fell in love with a rockstar romance like this. My next prediction is Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. This is the second book in the Knock 'Em Out series. Book 1, Things We Never Got Over, was incredible. It was my first read from this author and I fell in love. It was a fantastic grumpy hero small town romance. The whole town and all the characters were great, and I am so excited to read Nash's romance. Nash is Knox's brother from book 1. He gets his romance with Lena, who was introduced maybe like in the middle or towards the end of book 1. Their story is gonna be neighbors to lovers. They are next door neighbors, which I already freaking love. I'm pretty sure though that a lot of people wanted this second book to be Lucian's romance. Lucian is Knox and Nash's best friend. Not gonna lie, I also kind of wanted him to be next too, but I'm still glad it's gonna be Nash. I'm mostly just excited for more Lucy Score and more of this small town, and given by how much I loved Things We Never Got Over, I will probably also end up loving Things We Hide from the Light. This next 5-star prediction, I literally don't even know the title. I don't know what it's called. It only has acronyms right now and I barely know what the book is about. It's the new Bree series. It's called the Mortal Fate series, and we still don't know the title yet. The initials are TCOOAC. No idea what that could stand for, but I'm very much looking forward to this new series after how much I loved the Bonds That Tie series. I was very surprised by how much I loved it. This new series though is going to be quite different. It is MF. It's not going to be reverse harem like the Bond series, and it's also a fantasy romance. It's a fantasy MF romance series. I don't know how many books there are going to be, but we are getting a prequel right before the first full-length book, but I'm just really hoping I love it as much as the Bonds That Tie series. It should be fun though. I'm excited to see what kind of new fantasy world Bree will give us next. And then I have King of Pride by Anna Huang. This is book 2 in her Kings of Sin series. It's a 7-book series all about the 7 deadly sins. Book 1, King of Wrath, was one of my favorite reads this year, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna also end up loving this next book. It's Kai and Isabella's romance. Isabella was one of the best friends, one of the heroine's best friends in book 1, and Kai was the hero's friend. He was also a member of this gentleman's club. I'm just really excited for another Asian hero from Anna Huang. He wears glasses and he has a British accent. I love Kai already, if you couldn't tell, but Isabella and Kai, they did have maybe, what, 1-2 scenes in King of Wrath, and you could already feel that building tension between them. Kai pretty much couldn't take his eyes off of Isabella, basically, so it's gonna be good. And then my girl Sylvia Day is finally back after, what, 5 years? She's been gone for a long time. But I fell in love with her years ago with her Crossfire series. That series is still one of my favorites. And we're finally getting that book, that duet that she teased at the end of book 5 in the Crossfire series. The series is called The Blacklist Duet, and book 1 is called So Close. Book 2 is Too Far. Both books are planned to come out next year, and I really hope that I love it. I mean, it's been a long time since I read Sylvia Day. This story was teased all the way back in 2016, and I did love that teaser. It was 1-2 chapters, and I immediately fell in love with it. It's a second chance romance. It's also some sort of suspense, romantic suspense. The hero is a widower, but then he comes across this woman who looks exactly like his late wife. I'm just really curious to see how Sylvia Day is right now, like how her writing is, if she's able to live up to that Crossfire hype. I mean, I hope she does. And then I have Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This is Ali's 3rd full-length book. I love The Love Hypothesis. Her second book I didn't love quite as much. It was still not bad, but it wasn't quite the 5-star read that I expected. But I'm still holding out hope that I will love anything that she puts out. This is my favorite cover of her book so far though, but the story itself is kind of similar to her last 2 books. I personally don't mind that, but I know a lot of people probably do. It is rivals to lovers. The main characters are in STEM. They are rival physicists, and the heroine has a very interesting side job. She works as a fake girlfriend on her spare time. Her rival hero is one of her favorite clients' older brothers, and I am pretty sure the hero is one of Olive's older brothers, Olive from The Love Hypothesis. So hopefully we get some Olive and Adam cameos. But yes, I have a feeling I will probably love this one. I mean, anytime Ali comes up with a new book, I want to love it as much as The Love Hypothesis. I'm also predicting that the new Nalini Singh is going to be another 5-star read. This is Resonance Surge, book, I don't even know what book it is in the Science Changeling Trinity series. Okay, I just checked. It is book 7. We are getting up there in the series, but I adore these books. Her new release, Storm Echo, her 2022 release, that's one of my favorites this year. I have no idea who this next couple is gonna be though, but I am crazy excited about the fact that we are back with the bears, the bear changelings. It's gonna be a bear and Sai pairing, and I love those bears so much. I fell in love with them in Silver Silence. They are so funny, so adorable, and I can't wait to be back with them. If you haven't read Silver Silence, I highly recommend it, just so you can get introduced to all the very adorable bear changelings. My next prediction is Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. She is finally coming out with a new book, a new series. I just realized that she didn't release anything this year in 2022. Her last full-length book was the final book in the Four Horsemen series, and that came out last year. So it's been a while since I've read her. I have missed her, but Bewitched is going to be the start of a new series. I'm hoping we won't have to wait too long in between all 3 books in the trilogy, but it sounds fantastic. It kind of reminds me of the Fallen World series because it sounds like we're gonna get a sort of dark hero, anti-hero. Basically, he's evil. The heroine accidentally wakes up this god who is ancient evil, and he thinks that she is his long-dead wife who betrayed him. If you know me, you know how much I adore Laura Thalassa. All the series that I've read from her were 5-star series, and I mean, I have no doubt that I'm gonna love this new one too. Another all-time favorite author of mine is also hopefully gonna come out with this book. There's no set release date, but I'm still including it in this 2023 predictions list. It's Score by Kennedy Ryan. This is gonna be the sequel to Real, which was one of my all-time favorites from last year. So it's book 2 in the Hollywood Renaissance series, and it's gonna be Verity and Monk's romance. They were introduced in Real, and I was very intrigued by them. It seemed like they had some history because there was a lot of tension between them when they were in the same room together. But other than that, I don't know much about this book. Kennedy Ryan doesn't seem like she's working on this one quite yet. I think she's more focused on her new series, the Skyland series, which book 1 just came out. But I'm really hoping that Kennedy Ryan goes back to the Hollywood Renaissance series because I adore this series. I have to include the new Emily Henry on my predictions list because I do love her. I loved Beach Read. I loved People We Meet on Vacation. Booklovers was okay, not quite as good, not quite as high as those other two, but I'm really hoping that I'll end up loving Happy Place. I mean, it sounds right up my alley. It is a second chance romance. The main characters broke up 6 months ago and they have not told their best friends. So when the 4 of them, the main couple and their best friends, go on their annual friend trip together, they have to pretend that they're still together. So they're forced to share the same room, probably also share the same bed. It's got all the good tropes here. Second chance romance, fake dating, forced proximity, there's only one bed. What's not to love about this one, right? And then my next 5-star prediction is Coach by Devney Perry. Devney Perry is one of my favorites when it comes to small town romances, for emotional romances. And this one is yet another second chance romance on this list. I mean, if you couldn't tell already by now, I love this trope. But it's also a sports romance. The hero is a former football star. He is also a single dad, and he's just been hired as a new coach, the new head coach where the heroine works. I'm just really excited for a new Devney Perry. I'm excited for a standalone Devney Perry because I am very behind on a couple of her series. So at least for this one, I get to just dive in and be done with it. And then my next book, my next author is Catherine Center. I've come to realize that Catherine Center is a 5-star author for me. Both the books that I've read from her so far have both been 5-star reads. Her books aren't romance heavy. I mean, there still is a great romance in her books, but I would say it focuses more on the heroine, but I still love them so much. She's that good. Her new 2020 release though is Hello Stranger, and it sounds so interesting. It's about a portrait artist who, after a surgery, loses the ability to recognize faces. So she gets face blindness, which is a real thing. I remember learning about it in my psychology class in college. And now she has to struggle with being an artist, being a portrait artist, and not being able to recognize people's faces. And then the romance here, it seems like it's going to be a love triangle. There are 2 love interests. There is a vet and an annoying neighbor. My vote is on the annoying neighbor, although I don't know why. I feel like both guys could be the same person and she just doesn't know it because of her face blindness. But whatever it is, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love it. And then surprisingly, I have a YA-ish author on my list. It is From the Grave by Kresley Cole. It's the final book, the much awaited final book in the Arcana Chronicles series. I love the series. I started it last year and fell in love. I'm still only 3 books in. I have 2-3 more books to catch up on before getting to this final book, but I have a feeling that I'll end up loving it. For 1, I love Kresley Cole. For 2, she made me fall in love with the YA series, although technically it feels more new adult just because it has more adult topics in this series. But we're gonna finally get to see who Evie chooses, if she even chooses, between Jack and Death. Currently I'm on Team Death, but that's me at book 3, which is where the kidnapping happened, where Death kidnapped Evie. But that could change by the time I get to From the Grave, but I'm very curious to see how Kresley is gonna end this series. And then my final 5-star prediction of 2023 is for whatever book or books that Penelope Douglas decides to release next year. I'm really hoping for Motel, but we could also be getting Pirate Girls book 2 in the Hellbent series, which is the Fall Away spin-off series. I loved Falls Boys this year, so I do need more of the Hellbent series, but we've been waiting for Motel for quite a while since Birthday Girl came out. We got that teaser of one of the Devil's Night Boys checking into that motel. So the story is still there. It does seem like it'll still come out eventually. I'm just really hoping that it'll be sometime in 2023. But whatever book Penelope Douglas decides to come out with next, it's probably gonna be an automatic 5 stars for me. And that is my short and sweet list of the 5-star predictions that I have for 2023. Let me know some of your 5-star predictions for next year, or if we share any of the same ones. Links to everything will be down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!